All praises unto our Creator. Hallelujah. Greetings, family, and pray all is well. Pray your day is going well. It's such a beautiful day. I'm out here near the pool, and as the sun is shining upon the earth, I have been out a couple of days. Well, today would make a couple of days, so I definitely want to come out a bit and into the sun. But wanted to touch on melanin. I'm going to talk about two different melanin, which is Eumelanin and Pheomelanin. And as you see the chart here, starting from the bottom is where black people will line up more so with the Eumelanin with the highest percentage. Then it moves into dark brown, which is still high, but not as high as what they would call black. Then you move into the brown, which that's what now you would say that the person is light skinned, moving in towards actually pale skin. Then you see the tan, the olive. I don't get that, but that's what they say, really somebody who is tan as well. Medium, fair skin, and then light. So as you see this chart, you can also look at this as a pyramid. This is how ones who what they consider elites, or ones with power, or the systematic laws and structures throughout the earth, it aligns this as, like, if you've seen this on a pyramid, the black people will be at the bottom. So the black people is of the original, closer to the originals to the earth. So the geno that we carry forth will be considered the closest to the geno of our forefathers, our ancestors. And one would be amazed to, look at it perhaps in this manner and say, so if I see some lightness in my skin, it's a variation of a different type of what they will call black, right? So you have to remember, the darker you are, what you would see some tribes from Africa. Sudan comes to mind. I just saw a video probably about 3 weeks ago where they had a panel that they were talking about themselves and saying how they felt looked upon as being dark. And honestly speaking, they are more closer to the geno of our forefathers that were placed on the earth first. So there will be a day that, as which one speak of, a second sun, S-U-N, that will appear, that they say that it's already here, but will manifest even more, that the earth will be hotter. One's going to want to be that, where, because that's what would protect ones from the sunlight, the ultraviolet, right? So even though myself, I know that in my lineage there are some mixing due to slavery on my dad's side and also on my mother's side. So there's a step of ladder, we can say a ladder that steps up or either step down into this, what would make someone lighter, that goes into what you would call the area where it's light, that they say is pale white. That meaning that in that lineup, they never made it with, darker people to get any type of coloration. And like in my family lineup, I've done my family lineage far as the DNA, and I have fourth and fifth cousins who some of them are white. So you would have to understand that in that time of that mixing, the ones how they remained white, or what they would call pale, they never came back into the dark pool. Far as the DNA, they didn't go back downward, if you would say, towards our ancestor lineup, which is of the original lineup. Okay, so this is all, to be taken in consideration, because there are a lot of people who are bleaching their skins, who's removing their melanin off and not understanding what that is and what it means. That how, the abilities that comes with it by us awakening is waking us up to know ourself, thyself, meaning that will line us up even further to connect further with our Creator. Our ancestors of old, of ancient times, had the relationship where they could actually, speak with one another without even opening their mouth, moving their lips. They could, do many things, like what I even have came to understand, how I'm traveling the earth. They were able to do that. It's so much that ties into the attributes of having, the melanin and tapping into that lineup, which you will hear a lot of, even white scholars and ones talking about it now. It's a science, which they call themselves, teaching about reaching levels of frequency and moving on the level of different dimensions, you understand. But it's actually something that is naturally will be of our ability, understanding, what that means when it comes to our genetic makeup. So I just wanted to show you this. So when you see this, you can also look at this as, well, let me go back to the pyramid. So this lineup, it shows who actually right now, that a lot of what you would call white privileges, how that fall in line with the top tier, and the bottom one will be the ones who have felt the greatest blunt of it, as far as just in so many ways, the atrocities, being called out of your names, being just enslaved, colonized, and all the things that comes with it. So this is one angle that you can look at this. The next is actually according to the melanin, how you get lighter and lighter and lighter, right? And how your Pheomelanin is different from your Eumelanin, which the Eumelanin speaks, when you study it, you understand that it's a form where electricity, it's just so many different attributes of the capabilities of our people able to play basketball, football, run track, jump, leap, flip, and all the above. When others, they take melanin, whether they call it synthetic melanin, which I truly believe they're tapping into our melanin from human beings, because it's on the market, it's sold higher than gold. So they're not going to sell synthetic melanin that high if they're getting it from, say, plants, or they're getting it from whatever form that they're getting it from. It would make not any sense when someone can make it themselves. You understand? Go and pull it in a plant up and say, well, we're going to make melanin out of this. So it has to be at its highest core. And that highest will be the ones who are actually manifesting it the more. And that will show the ones down where you see the dark brown and the black. They would want to tap into that lineup. Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk about is that when you look at this chart, when I spoke of earlier today about our vindication will come through our melanin, if you look at the top where it says light, which is pale white, and you look at the bottom which says black, very dark brown, deep pigmentation of pigments, What that is that the people at the top of this chart that is considered light, they negate the ones at the bottom, okay? But the ones in the middle, they know that they are closer to the ones at the bottom, because it goes by how they can tan naturally and how they look in their feature, as far as their hair curlier or so forth, that and the other. Is many factors how they can see that they're not completely white. You understand? Okay. So all these people did was they claimed through far as the geno lineup, they are part of the original stock. They, derive, or one can say mutate. But at that level of where that, at the top there, they basically negate anything that came before their geno became into fullness. You understand? And so that's about 6,000 years ago. So that's what I'm saying, that, we could argue back and forth and say, oh, we this, oh, we that, because I also notice what they have been doing is attempting to put, like, say, a chimpanzee, what is called a primate, right? They try to say that that's where humans derives from, and that their skin was white, but somehow the sun changes our skin into black. And that's I want to say, lie, because it doesn't even add up in that aspect. When you look at everything, even the features will point more to them than it will point to us. And this comes from a place also where you could tell that these people did not seek our Creator for truth. All these different science and all these different ways of looking at it, they didn't tap into and seek our Creator for what is what. They just tried to come up with whatever science of studying to come up with their answers. So again, this chart, which I would look at this also as a spectrum, even if you turn it, sideways, as I'm doing, I don't know if y'all can see it, that the chart on the spectrum, like the white people, they negated everyone that was before them. But they play footsies with the ones that are fair skin, the medium skin, what they call olive skin, the tan skin, because they are people what you would call occupants, kind of sort of, that you would put on lands to occupy space. So they occupy certain things that will be like a buffer between us and them. You understand? And that's what they have been doing all these many years. They know that they're point back to us more closely as black people, dark Eumelanin people, but they know that their hair texture is different than ours. It's much more finer, or what they call straighter like theirs. Their skin color is lighter. They get pale at times, probably throughout the winter and so forth, but then they get dark when they get in the sun. So they play footsie and they hold them up at a higher regard. You understand? With that being said, again, the ones at the bottom, the dark brown and the black people, and I want to say, really the black people, what that means is that we have went through many probably debates and many videos of discussions about what, who is who and what is what. But what has been shown to me in many ways, many factors that I have came to understand, is that our blackness, which is our Eumelanin, is going to vindicate us by speaking our truth. If we right now today was ever able to go to court and get before a judge, and the judge was fair in actually being fair to not being biased, but unbiased, hands down, we would win, because we would go back into the lineup of who are the true people who are closer to the originals. So they have to answer why did not, why the originals, this, of the original, I'm sorry, why descendants of the originals don't have any leeway to basically control or to make big decisions or set system in place. Why? Overall, why is them? Why is these people who at the top that call themselves, white, which is light or pale skin, why they are what you see in the governments in Europe and also in Great Britain, UK, or America, but they still control the whole earth, no matter, if it's Africa, no matter if it's Australia, they still control the whole earth. So something had surfaced probably about 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago, saying that what they're going to come forth and do is that they're going to say when they get pushed or put against the wall, when they can't deny the fact that, well, damn, it's a simple whole lineup. That is true. Well, why we are controlling everything when we weren't here first? What happened to their blessings? What happened to all their, heritage and their legacies and all that? We just came in, and as we mutated, we just claimed whatever they had and we negated them. You understand? So what they're going to come back and say is that we won it fair and square. We invaded the earth. Because see, all before they used that, the Almighty sent them to civilize and bring the gospel to Africa, right? Bring the gospel to America, and so forth. And they said that they came from Europe because they were being chastised in reference to, religious persecution. So all of this right here, what I'm saying, that now they're going to come and say, well, we invaded. We were the stronger vessels. We earned it by fighting these wars against them and da-da-da-da. But what they did was originally came in and they played like they wanted to learn. They wanted to be a part of, the land, like in being fair and so forth. But then they start bringing deceitfulness in and lies in, backstabbing and controversy and so forth, that and the other. So, of course, our people, nature by nature, we welcome and we, take in. But what they did was they brought this fake deity. That's why y'all got to know this deity is fake. They brought this fake deity called Jesus Christ into the lineup, and that's how they conquered the whole earth. The Pope came forth and actually apologized for using Christianity, using the Catholic Church in the lineup of bringing forth these lies. How they were able to conquer the earth, family. They played on our weakness, and being that we was disconnected from our Creator, from what we are getting back now, you understand, as far as in this awakening of knowing ourselves, thyself, we believed them. Our forefathers, ancestors believed them and allowed them to teach us of something that we already had a connection with. Like the King Leopold said, don't teach them about God. They already know about God. You understand? So that speaks volume, family. It speaks volume. Okay, so this is an article that I'm going to share, and as you see number 1 here, you see it speaks of this doctor reveals that at the core of human brain, what they found is this locus coeruleus, which is a structure that is black because it contains large amount of neuromelanin, which is essential for its operation. Then you have these are the attributes that they see in melanin, and they point to eumelanin. Okay, so it says black infants sit and stand, crawl and walk sooner than the whites. And then number 3, it speaks of a Carolyn Barnes notes that the human mental processes are controlled by melanin, and it speaks of the superior physical and mental ability, which gives blacks their superior physical and mental abilities. Number 4 says some scientists have revealed that most whites are unable to produce melanin because their pineal gland are often calcified, which is calcification, are non-functioning. And a lot of our black scholars have been saying this, okay? And it says that in this rates with Africans are about 5 to 15% of Africans have this, Asians 15 to 25%, and then Europeans 60 to 80%, and that speaks volume. Now this is what connects us, what they call third eye family, where we can connect with our Creator on that spiritual lineup, in which they, study and how they do all these different things to get there, by eating a certain way, by doing all these rituals, by doing a lot of things to get somewhere spiritually in the lineup where we can get there supernaturally, automatically. Number 5, melanin endows blacks with greater mental, physical, and spiritual abilities, something which cannot be measured, okay, based on Eurocentric standards. So those are 5 things there. I'll share this article. This was something surrounding where it was a debate called the Bell Curve, the Bell Curve. And they said this is the opinion. But these are the things of just some that stands out with the capability, how we connect with the SUN that rises every day. They said the first 10 minutes of the sun rising is best to go look directly into the sun, that open up your pineal gland, and then even as the sun go down, then you can do it that way. And I find it to be like right now it's 3:07 and the sun is so warm, it's pulling me in, not like where it on your body and you feel hot, whatnot. It just feels so wonderful. It just makes me want to just stay outside. I love outside. I just love it. And I encourage you all to get outside and connect with the elements of the earth, especially with the sun. And I shared this morning about Akhenaten. And if you haven't had a chance to watch that video, please do, because it's going to explain, I believe, why Father has allowed me to have that visitation by Akhenaten, which I explained, because it's surrounding the sun. And in that timeline, Father took me down the path to understand more about the SUN, not a SON, not a man walking with 2 legs. It's the SUN that rises every day. So to go deeper, you must set forth to do that. And I spoke and said that each individual have to do this for themselves. You can't look for a group effort to do this for you. It's you, your heartbeat within you, not within a group. You understand? Not the whole group is beaten by one heartbeat. No, you are individual. You have to take this walk as you should towards, knowing thyself as you should unto our Creator. So fam, that's all I have for right now. This was on me to do, and I have completed, I believe, my mission. I don't believe in the Most High. I have nothing else for me to say regarding this, but just to give you a window of understanding what I mean by the vindication, how they negated us by us putting us at the bottom of the pyramid, how they just came in and took over our identity. So that's why you hear a lot of our people talk about they have stolen our identity. That's how they did it. That's how they stole our identity. They pointing at a book, or we pointing at a book, and say, see, they say they have Jacob, Isaac, and Abraham. In actuality, they stolen it by our coloration and their due time of being placed on the earth through mutation. That's how they stole it. But we point to a book and allowing them to point to a book. And we should not anymore. We need to come outside the book and know that the book is a reference book, has a lot of truth in it about our lineup of our, our ancestors, how Father have dealt with them, and also a lot of things in there as far as our customs and culture is in the Bible. Sure enough, true, that is. But we need to understand what this means. We got to stand outside, because I also shared this in the last video about the wars. When you look at the historical wars that they said that happened in the book, the Bible, which was biblical wars, family, it happened in the heart of Egypt, Kemet. It did not happen where they said it happened at. It's historical documented that it happened in Kemet, the what you would call the different, like for the priests, which the temples and all that, that was all in Kemet. All that would, how I know that is even a lie as well, is because why would a Almighty give us the same thing that Father gave to them before? Because the way how they connect us to the land, they keep saying, oh, we connected to the land by Egypt, by us going over there because Joseph and Jacob and all of them went there. No, fam. No, fam. You must go deeper and understand that those ones that came in and they ruled for a period of time, they enslaved the Kemetics. They enslaved what they would call the Egyptians for a period of time. You understand? And so, and when I say they, the ones who call themselves, say the Jewish people are the Israelites, according on the walls of Kemet, it shows that they were enslaved by the people that came in and took over in that same timeline, and the same, what the write-up is about the Joseph story, when Joseph came to Egypt and Jacob and all of them came. It's the same people. What is the name that? It's a name that that ties to them. That they're just saying that they're foreigners of the land. And that's all that word means, that they're foreigners of the land. It's not coming to me right now, but y'all probably know what I'm talking about. It's foreigners of the land. So we must go deeper, fam. Know the book is a reference. The Bible is a reference book. Seek our Creator. Our Creator is outside of that book, and build that relationship as you should. All praises to the Most High. Matando and Geta.